Hi everybody, welcome to my channel for the third game of the team tournament UB. It's a team tournament for the French community, which I attended with my team, and for this last game I am facing a Dwarven old army played by Moix, a French player. And basically the pairing process, nobody really from my team wanted to play against him, but I think I had some argument to maybe face him. And basically I was sent, I think he was thrown during the pairing process, then I was in the response with my Roy of the Dark God friend, and he chose to play against me on flags. So here you have my list as a reminder. You can just press pause if you want to see it, and the list of my opponent. Basically he plays the typical triple Vanguard block of Dwarven Old with a King on the War Throne, then 2 blocks of Seekers with Vanguard, a block of Greybard with the Banner of the Relentless Company, and of course Vanguard, good magical support for combat with the Runic Smith plus the Anvil of Power, and then he has 2 other scoring units with 2 small block of Greybard, 2 Steam Bomber who can shoot a little bit and be used as piece of chaff, and the cannon in this list. And of course he has the Old Stone to make the Death Star a bit more scary if it wasn't enough. We are playing Counter Trust on the map 12 and Capture the Flag for the selection of spell. I decided to take quite a lot of buffs, combat buff, because I expected some hard combat. With Awaken the Beast, Trident of Umi, the Totemic Summon to threat a little bit his backline. Break the Spirit, and then I had as bounce spell Rod of Battle and Chilling Roll. My opponent chose 2 times the -1 to wounds bounce spell, 2 times the hard target distracting, and 2 times the reroll to wounds, so he went full combat buff. What do I think regarding matchup? Basically has very fast moving list with Vanguard plus the first turn. I have to use my Vanguard to slow him down a little bit. I never played this matchup yet, so this will be a good test for me. Try to simulate a little bit in UB how he might deploy, how I might counter deploy. I think he will be trying to rush in order to avoid too much range damage. I think that's the only way to play this list, actually, to push forward as fast as possible. So he's very likely to drop for first turn if he can. That means as well that I will try to counter deploy in a way to be as far away as possible from him to gain a bit of time of shooting before the combat. Counter Trust might be interesting for me to start dropping, because I might be able to push him as far away as possible from my backline. And Capture the Flags means I cannot use my Tribesman darts to chaff him, and we both have some sensitive spot. I have to target his 2 small Greybard blocks. They should be in the back line or around or behind the Death Star, so I should be able to pick them and to try to get these 2 flags, and I will have to protect my 5 flags to try to win the scenario, which will not be easy. And of course, before any combat I need to kill the Anvil, because if not, he has too many combat buff, and if he charges with combat buff, it might be a nightmare for me, because I might not heal that well, and even if I have a lot of attacks, if you hit on 5+, for example, makes things very difficult. And of course I have the Keen Eater and the Hunter to try to kill as early as possible the Anvil. Okay, his deployment, I will try to explain you, because this was the picture after Vanguard. Basically, we exchanged a few drops. I was able to choose the side, so I took the south part of the board, because I liked the way I could use the Impassable, the house on the left, to try to go around the house and use it as to protect me and to block some line of sight. So I decided to drop south. My opponent started with a block of Seeker right here. I started with a cat in the middle. I put the cat in the flank because I realized when I made some simulation in UB that if he put exactly 2 units on 18 of my tiger, then he might be able to block the hunter entering the cat's unit and therefore block the Vanguard, which would be very annoying for me. So I just put the cat on the side to be able to put the hunter on the side and then to Vanguard with both. And then he put quickly, I guess, Death Star, second block of Seekers, and then the rest of his army. My drop 2 and 3 were the Tribesman block here and Tribesman block in the middle. Basically, I wanted to see whether or not he would put a Seeker unit on this side. If he would have put a Seeker unit on the side of the house, I would have chosen the other corner to put my army, which makes things a bit harder to go around, but would have put a unit of Seeker completely out of the game. And my counter deployment, here you have the anvil and the cannon. My counter deployment, basically I was surprised to find a spot to put my scout in the back. I think that was a mistake for my opponent's part. I shouldn't have been able to be in his backline during the deployment stage, because this makes things easier for me to be as fast as possible on the anvil. And then I decided to drop more or less everything in the corner with the BSB's units and the mercenaries veteran. And here you have the Bruce block, 2 scoring unit on the side to be able to go around the house and to be protected since he's in the middle of the board. And then to threat him a bit on this side, I decided to put both the Frost Mammoth and the cannon behind him, possible to not be shot on the first turn by the cannon. And then, depending on what he does with the Seeker, I could be able to go around the building with the Frost Mammoth and to threat the complete back part of his line, which cost a bit of points. And of course he has 2 scoring units here in the back, so I could be able to threat him as soon as possible. I think that was a mistake to deploy a bit too far away from the battle line. The cannon should have been a bit more further up to be able to get some short range on the shots and to threat with charges as well. And after Vanguard, basically the move I decided to make was to try to slow down the Death Star, but basically my Vanguard move was not optimal. I will talk about it at the end of the battle report. And I decided to put my Tiger back to save him for later stages, because basically he's my only piece of chaff. I don't have a lot of chaff option in this game, since all these guys are very precious because we are playing flags. Let's move on to his turn 1. He moves forward as fast as possible with the Seeker block plus the Death Star behind. Moves forward with both Copter to shoot at my regen Hunter, because I have no regen against him. And the scoring unit stays a bit back at the moment. In Magic, he puts -1 to wound on the Seekers. It's casted, and then I'm able to dispel Hard Target Distracting and a second time Hard Target Distracting. So he only has -1 to wound, and then in shooting he's able to do, I guess, 2 wounds to my Hunter with both Copters, but nothing with the cannon on my Hunter. And that's it for his turn. So here basically I have a first decision to take, whether or not to charge into the Seeker's block. Just out of curiosity, I made the stats after the game, and I should be able on the charge with -1 to wound, and if I'm able to get a +1 to hit, probably will dispel +1 strength, should be able to make 17.5 wounds on this block. So just out of curiosity, because during the game I thought that was a bit too risky since the Death Star is just behind, but I think it's worth thinking about it a while. The decision I made was not to charge. I decided to move around, but if I really wanted to take this strategy, I guess I should have deployed further on the side. Anyway, here I moved, march around with the BSB unit, reform and move away with the General's unit, but it's still a bit scary since his Death Star has a 9 charge against my unit, so I think that's too big of a risk. That's why I think in the particular setup I had, should have taken the charge with both these 2 units to normally kill the Seeker in 2 rounds, use the chaff this turn against the Death Star, and then I can always, during his turn, reform and go to the side 12. So I still had the possibility to do that, and during this process I would have taken a unit of Seeker on the way. And then I just move forward as fast as possible with both Hunter. I move around the building with the Frost Mammoth to threat the scoring unit. And I didn't move, I don't know why, I'm still outside of the short range. I should have just moved forward to be in short range and then shoot at the Copter, but I forgot. In Magic, I'm trying to cast Totemic Summon, it's dispelled, then I'm able to cast Break the Spirit on the leftmost Seeker. Of course he used the Rune of Devouring to kill the spell, but still he has Break the Spirit on this unit. I thought that he might just think twice before charging the Keen Hitter, the cat. And shooting, I was able to do 1 wound with this guy on the cannon, and that's it. His turn 2, Basically, he charges the cat, loses a couple of guys, like 2 or 3, almost nothing. He tried to charge me, luckily for me, failed the 9 on the charge. So I'm not dead yet with my general, but that was too much of a risk, definitely. He moves back with both copter to be able to chaff and to shoot at my hunter with 2 wounds remaining, and he turns around the seeker because they see that I'm going around the building, I'm going to march. He turns around because he has no way to reach my scoring unit, and the both scoring unit stays behind, so basically we'll try to defend them with the seeker block. That's a bit his idea. Magic, he tries to put alt target distracting on the seekers. Okay, no worries for me, I won't charge this unit. Then he tries to put -1 to wound on his cannon, I'm able to dispel it. And he puts alt target distracting on the anvil, I'm able to dispel it as well. And with the cannon he shoots at my hunter and makes a 1 to wound. And I guess he was able to kill me with both copter, I guess so. He was able to kill the hunter. So no hunter anymore. My turn 2. I took the charge with the hunter but failed. I needed a 10 on Swift Stride to contact the anvil, and then I had a complex situation to solve, so I needed to give one of my scoring unit as piece of chaff in order to march around with the bruiser block, but probably this block is too slow to be able to escape from this situation. Move forward with the BSB's unit, always being careful about the 12-inch BSB bubble. And this scoring unit moves to the right to try to avoid the Death Star. No move for my cannon, and here the Frost Mammoth moves laterally out of arc of both scoring units to be able to charge them on the next turn, and Keen Eater comes on the board to trade the cannon. And I guess that's it. Magic, trying to cast Totemic Summon, dispel by my opponent. I'm trying to cast Chilling on the Copter, and it's casted, so -1 to wound for both Copter on the shots. I thought this might help my Keen Eater to survive the flaming shots, you never know. And then I tried to put, I don't know where, +1 strength, maybe on, I don't know where, to be honest. But this was failed, and with the cannon I did a roll 1, so misfire, and then a 2, so no shots anymore during this game. And I guess that's it. His turn 3, he charges the chaff, moves the king out of the unit to threat me, but at the same time leaves the unit on the hill to threat the corner. And then he moves finally a bit forward with scoring unit, try to escape from this situation, and moves forward with the seeker block to be ready to countercharge if I charge the Greybard. And moves forward with both copter to shot at the Keen Eater, took 1 wound due to danger strain. In Magic, and with the bombs, he was able to do 1 wound to my Keen Eaters. In Magic, he's able to cast -1 to wound on the, I guess, this unit. Yeah, -1 to wound on them. And then he tries to put reroll to wound on this guy. This was cast because I tried to dispel with 2 dice but wasn't able to do 5, so this was cast. And then with shots he's able to do 1 wound to my Keen Eaters, so still alive, thanks to Chilling Hold, which helped a lot. In close combat he's able to kill me, and I was able to pass my 8 rerollable on the general's unit, so very tense situation here on the left. I'm not comfortable at all. My turn 3, able to charge with the hunter on the anvil, to charge the cannon with the Keen Eater, with a possible overrun pass onto the copter. I liked a lot this situation. Charge with the Frost Mammoth onto the scoring unit. And here I move forward, and I wasn't able to escape with the bruiser, so I just turned them around, move south to make him charge me. Maybe I should have been able to take a better position, because he is just able to contact me with the wheel past the seeker, has just enough space to contact here, so I guess with a better placement I should have been able to avoid this charge. So here, yeah, that was a mistake. Should have checked how he can charge. Since the seeker unit has no charge option, I could have been able to avoid this charge with the whole unit, so didn't play that well, and I would have been a threat with my bruiser block charging one of these units. It's another situation as if I get the charge, and as if I get charged. So I guess here I missed something in the micro department, so to say. Okay, I guess that's it. Yeah, here I just march forward. I march out of charge range with the shaman as well. Let's see, magic. I tried to cast hereditary spell on Bruiser, was dispelled. Then I'm able to get the totemic summon to threat the back line. I don't remember exactly where I put it. Here, I put it here because I just calculated with 10 inch I was able to chaff the Seeker block. And I like that a lot because I thought if they charge me, I'm basically dead. So I like the fact that I could chaff with the Totemic Summon. Close combat, I did 2 wounds with the Keen Eater, but he's able to stick on the Stubborn check. And here I'm able to kill the Anvil. And here I make him flee. I decided to not pursue. He rolled a 5, 5 and a 6, so he made a 10 on the flee roll. And I just reform, try to charge on the next turn if he rallies. That was a bit my idea. And if not, I'm still able to move. But basically, if I would have pursued, he would have been able to charge me and overrun possibly onto the Frost Mammoth, depending on the roll. So I didn't like that much this option. His turn 4, he was able to rally the scoring units. He charged chaffing totemic beast. And here on the back, as you can see, he was just able to connect with the bruiser. That's why I'm saying I should have been able to reform differently to possibly escape on the next turn with the bruiser, or at least get a charge and give me better chances. He moved forward with the king to threat me and moves back with the seeker unit to be able to finish me in any case. If I'm able to stick combat, he will just charge me in 2 rounds of combat. Just decided to move back with both copter to shoot at my scoring unit because at the moment I lost 1, I will probably lose 2, but I could still be able to get 2 of these, so could be able to draw the scenario, even I didn't start that well. What else? Yeah, the charge was a 7 rerollable, he was able to connect, and then in magic he tries to put our target distracting on himself. I failed again to dispel, roll a 4 again, and then he's able to put -1 to wound, so yeah, he has good odds to win the combat. He's able to kill the beast, and he makes 3 wounds to me. I make only 1 wound in return. He's able to make me flee, pursues me, catches me, so yeah, poor bruises, we can say. Let's move on, my turn 4. And of course here he reforms to chaff the Frost Mammoth to avoid me getting the charge. This turn, unfortunately for me, I'm not able to pass my march check. So I'm blocked by the Seeker, I cannot avoid the charge. So basically I just move sideways to make him charge me with as less model as possible. Here I'm taking the charge with the Keen Eater, and here I failed the 7 on the scoring unit. But I think I had better option, to be honest, because I was able to kill the cannon. I should have just charged with the Keen Eater on this scoring unit and reform him better in order to be able to see these guys and to charge them. That would have been, I guess, much better for me. However, he could have fled as well, so you never know, but at least if he flees, I should be able to kill him with the Frost Mammoth. So at least something. I think I would have had better chances to make these 2 charges. So yeah, failed with the Hunter on 7 Swift Strides on the back on the scoring unit. And over here I just moves around everybody out of charge range. Moves the cannon forward to protect a bit the scoring unit, which march forward. Basically to threat him if he goes too close, I should be able to charge and possibly to kill one of his steam bombers in magic. Trying to cast Totemic Summon. I'm able to get it cast here on the back of the line to threat the scoring unit because I'm not sure the Keen Eater with 2 wounds will be able to deal with 7 Greybards. And then I'm trying to cast Chilling. Of course my opponent dispels it to avoid 2 wound on 5 up. Close combat, I'm able to kill 2 of them, but he's still steadfast, he's able to stick, and that's it. He's turn 5. He charges with the Seeker. moves forward with the king to threat me, moves back in the game with the block a little bit, but they will do nothing. Moves forward with the shooting unit to threat my my tribesman unit, and march forward with the Greybard to be as far as possible from my hunter, who has nothing to do on the remaining turn probably. Yeah, he can move forward, but the next turn he cannot charge at least, so I have to move forward and then expect maybe a lucky charge on the last turn. Okay. In Magic, what did he do? Nothing special, I guess. Yeah, nothing special. Let's move on to my turn 5. Yeah, basically here, I was a bit unlucky in combat with the first Mammoth because I was only able to kill 2. He did 1 wound to me, but only able to kill 2 with 8 attack strength 4. No, 6 attack strength 4. Plus Thunderstorm strength 6, plus 4 attack strength 6. I would have expected something more because he has no buffs. So I did only 2 wounds to him, he did 1 wounds to me, he has a charge, so it's a tie, basically. So he's able to reform with a maximum. My turn 5, I charge with the Totemic Summon in the back of this guy. And then I march forward with the Hunter, try to shoot at the Copter with 1 wound remaining. And here I came up with a little plan. I just swift reformed the mercenaries to shoot at the king. And basically my idea was the following: if he charges me, I will accept the challenge with the champion this turn. I have a steadfast on 8 rerollable, and if I'm able to stick, I can countercharge with the mage, Ligatong, Scarification in the back, BSB in the flank. And basically that's only 3 attack for him on 4 up, 5 up, and then multiple wounds, D3. He can possibly do nothing, maybe 1-2 wounds, you never know. And since he has the old stone, I will win. If he does nothing to me, I will win by 2. So you never know, he might lose the king on this move. I decided to take my chance here. Okay, and what happened in Magic? I think not that much. What was I able to do? To cast Totemic Summon, I guess. And then with the shooting, I was able to kill the bomber, and I did nothing on the king. Close combat is able to kill the first Mammoth. I'm able to kill the scoring unit, but he was able to kill the Keen Eater no, I have still 1 wound remaining on the Keen Eater, sorry. And I guess that's it. He's turn 6. He decided to charge with the king onto my mercenaries unit. He gives me the second Copter to chaff my hunter, but I still have a chance. He decided to go for the charge on a 10 on the dice to charge my cannon. He failed, so I still have a chance to charge with both the tribesman block, the cannon, and maybe a lucky Totemic Summon. Maybe. And he of course decided to charge my Keen Eater, who was to stay. I cannot flee because I'm unbreakable. So let's move on to combat, because basically he has no combat buff, he's too far away with the Runic Smith, no Anvil anymore. So combat, taking the challenge of course. He kills the champion, steadfast, 8 rerollable, fail it, I flee, doesn't catch me, but I flee quite far away. But my plan basically is dead. My turn 6, I will not show directly what happened because you will see the movement phase. But I forgot to tell you, I killed the Keen Eater and just reform. Now my turn 6, so my main eater basically I here have a reroll on 8 rerollable. And basically I can still draw the scenario. I just lost 2 scoring units. Could be able to get the Greybird with a bit of luck, you never know. But first of all, didn't rally the mercenaries, 8 rerollable, and then they fled exactly 9. That was exactly what was needed to be out of the board. So I lost the mercenaries on this move. No way to make any tricks with the shaman. But here I was able to get the charge with both tribesmen and the tank, but wasn't able to connect with the Totemic Summon. He charged and killed the Copter. And yeah, I guess that's it. He was able, of course, to pass his... I was only able to kill 3 of him with impact hits. How many? Impact hit strength 5, d6, then 1 impact hit strength 4, 7 attack plus 3 attacks, 10 attacks strength 4, 3 attack strength 5, 1 attack strength 3. Expected a bit more than 3 wounds, but he was able to pass his steadfast check. So I'm not able to draw the scenario because I lost the third flag on the mercenaries. So yeah, a complicated ending of this game. I think I made several mistakes. I tried to highlight them during the battle report. I will try to explain some more of them, what I could have done differently, especially at the beginning of the game. I was able to get a bit more than 1,000 points for him, but he took a lot more because he was able to kill my Mammoth Hunter early in the game, a Tribesman unit, the Block of Bruisers, the Mercenaries Veteran, the Tiger, a Keen Eater, and the Frost Mammoth. So 2,600 plus get the scenario, which was capture the flag, and therefore it ended up in a 17-3 win for him. Okay, so basically, I think, to be honest, I lost this game during deployment because I wasn't far enough on the left to really avoid his block. Could have been much smarter and win a bit of time, increase the distance between him and me. And the second mistake was directly after deployment with the Vanguard move. I could have been able to block him a bit more. So I think I did my homeworks on UB, but not deep enough. I didn't really make all simulation of movement turn 1. I made simulation of Vanguard deployment, but I should have been a bit more careful during my homework to see what he can effectively do with the movement on the table on the first turn. Yeah, the map gave me a good option to avoid the fights. That's why I think I should have taken another approach. Basically, my idea at the beginning of the game was there will be a lot of combat. That's why I didn't took a Swarm of Insects in my spell selection. And my idea was to try to be able to threat him with multiple charges. But you see the situation turn 1, it's very complicated. And I guess, to be honest, with the deployment I made during this game, I should have taken the charge against Seeker Block. I should have tried to kill him, chaff the Death Star, if needed, chaff another turn the Death Star with a Tribesman unit, and then I still have the possibility on his turn to either reform to the side, go for the house, hide. I would have taken a Seeker Block, I have only the Death Star who can run after me. And second option would have been to try to confront him with 2 units, but I guess that's a bit too scary. But with the situation, the deployment, I think that was a wrong approach to go for the escape plan, because you saw that was way too risky for my bruises and for my general. Despite the bad start, I was still able to get some openings to maybe draw the scenario, possibly scare the king, so I still had some interesting situation. But I was able to success in nothing, to be honest. Everything I tried, I guess more or less didn't work. And my opponent played well his game, I guess, with the chaffing the Frost Mammoth and going for it with the king. I think that was that pays off for him. He was able to get a big win. And I guess turn 4, it was because I decided to reform and move then 6, I guess, with marching towards the front part of the board to go as far away as possible from the king. I should have been able maybe to escape or to at least give him a long charge. Maybe my plan to try to stick and counter charge was still a bit risky. I don't know. And I guess not pursuing with the Frost Mammoth was a mistake, because that would have maybe give me a good chance to catch him, because I'm going in a pursue move with 3 dice maximize, and he goes in a flee move with 3 dice minimize. So good chance of catching him, and it would have allowed the Keen Eater to move south and to go for the other scoring unit back. So basically no need to charge on the side and then lose the Keen Eater. So I guess that would have been a better option, especially since he was able to chaff me with the Seeker. I guess it makes no sense to restrain and avoid the charge. Better go for it, because the Frost Mammoth is here and will be probably dead anytime soon. So better try to catch the scoring unit. So yeah, quite a lot of aspects that I should have done better during this game. Deployment, Vanguard, decision turn 1, decision afterwards. It's a lot of things that I should have done probably differently. Of course, I suffered a lot not having played this game before. Should have gone a bit more deep into the preparation of this game, and I think that cost me as well big during this game. But the learn was pretty big in this game. I was able to learn a lot of aspects, and I think I would be able to fight this list a bit differently. But still, it's not an easy matchup, and it's always difficult if you have to take this kind of approach where you need really to avoid him and try to be as fast as possible with combat block. It's not so easy. Before we finish, I have a picture of the deployment, what I should have done during this game, considering his deployment. Basically put as far away as possible Bruiser and Mercenaries Veteran, and use both the Hunter and the Keen Eater to block the path for the Death Star and the Seeker. This would have been resulted probably in Seeker blocked in front of the Hunter, but quite far away. At the end of turn 1, as you can see, it would have been more far away from my unit as he was during the Vanguard move, which is something completely different situation. And I guess with this Death Star, I could have gone up to here with the Vanguard, and then with the Relentless Company go around and maybe ended up here. But that's again something completely different. That what he was able to do with my Vanguard move. So I guess I should have done something more like this and not let enough space to move in between with Seekers or with the Death Star. So just make sure that he's not able to pass in this spot between the house and my Hunter, and then between the Hunter and the Cat. So I guess that was a key point. And basically, yeah, starting with this mistake, a lot of other bad things happen afterwards. But on the macro level, that was huge in this game. I think the approach of this game, the deployment of Bruiser and Mercenaries and the character, plus the Vanguard was really the biggest mistake in this game. Okay, guys, I hope you liked the battle report. I have, before we finish, I almost forgot, I have an overview of what we did during this tournament, if you are interested. So first round, we were able to do a big win. We won like 70 plus something, so all of us were able to get big wins. So we were able to win 55 after cap, 25 against this team. And then second round, we faced TSC, La 9e Compagnie, and we were able to draw. Basically what happened, in two to three words, what happened is that three of us made small mistake, which ended up in three small losses, and our captain Coco was able to get a big win, a good win. 15, it was very, very close to get 18, and then we were able actually to get 18, and because of this we were only able to draw with 8 and a 9 and a 15, so we were able only to draw. And on the last round we were able to get a good win again, 53 against the second team of TRC, 53 against 27. So very, very close from the cap again. We got three big wins and one big loss from my game. Two big wins, one small win. We got 20, 17, 13, and then a 3. So it ended up 53 to 27. And basically with that, we were able to end up just 1 point short of winning the tournament, actually, because with uncapped points, we were in front, so we were very, very close to win this tournament. And we ended up in the second place, which is, I guess, a good result for us. We're pretty happy, especially after the second round, where we lost a couple of easy points. I guess most of us can see in the team where we lost some trenches, and where we could have done better, but this was very interesting for us. We were able to learn a lot, especially playing with Coco was a huge experience, ETC experience. He was able to give us a lot of advice, so this was really interesting to analyze the game before, after with him, and as well to do the pairing, the discussion. It was a very interesting tournament, so I was really happy that I was able to attend three rounds during 3 weeks. I guess that was really cool with the Discord and the audio. That was enjoyable, but still a bit tense. You can feel it was a tournament, and sometimes that's not something that I like to associate with UB. I guess UB is better suited for training games, for trying to see what happened in a particular matchup. I'm not a big fan of playing tournaments with a too tense atmosphere during tournament, to be perfectly honest with you. So that was maybe something a bit negative. I don't know. Okay, so that's all for this battle report. I hope you like this series of video with this new list from the Ogre. The list was interesting. I would maybe make a small change to include a binding scroll maybe on the BSB, but I guess the rest of the list the concept was interesting. I saw that during these 3 battles that I didn't had a lot of training with this list, and I think you can remark in some of the decision that I played a lot of Wild Earth and more MSU approach than this list, which was a bit a different play style. So I struggled a little bit to make some good choice at some moment during this tournament. But it's always cool to try a list during a real tournament and not only training game, because it's a completely different testing atmosphere to see how your list is able to fight against other good lists in the current meta. Thanks a lot for watching. See you soon on my channel. Bye.